Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel, Life Play Digital. So I'm going to share something today with you that most people don't know about me. When it comes to purging or parting with old things, particularly furniture, clothes, and shoes, I'm really bad at it. It's not one of my stronger points, definitely. I honestly think that my pack rat tendencies are likely because I'm always thinking of like, oh, I could use this for something, or I can upcycle this, whatever. So, which is actually kind of what happened this time concerning a pair of old chairs that I have. And honestly, it's kind of like that saying, you know, the one that says someone's junk or trash is another one's treasure. Right, that one. Except that I'm like both the someones from that saying. Anyways, back to those old chairs, which if you haven't guessed already, that's what this DIY video is about. And I'm going to be showing you how I transformed those two dining or kitchen chairs into an outdoor bench with a back and some comfy cushions. Now, let's go over the list of supplies that you'll be needing. By the way, the list will also be in the video's description, along with the links to the different items that I have used or recommend. Okay, back to the list. Here's what you're going to need for the bench. 2 matching wood dining chairs. Matching or not, that's your choice actually. If you don't have any old wood dining chairs hanging around, well, no worries. They're actually quite common at thrift stores, swap meets, yard or estate sales, which have moved more recently to online, but still findable. Paint and primer in a color and sheen of your choice. I decided on the Behr paint in the blue Dahlia and a satin enamel, sheen, whatever. A good quality paint roller and brush, a paint tray, a drop cloth or plastic, 1 2x4 foot plywood sheet, and 5, now I had 1.5 by 3.5 lumber pieces, so 5 in total, with 2 pieces cut to 48 inches in length and 3 pieces cut to 21 inches in length. 2 5-foot wood fence picket boards. I think they're also like about 5.5 wide. These will be cut depending on how wide the chairs are, or depending on the dining chairs, because mine had a slight curve to them, making it so that the top piece was longer than the bottom piece. So, okay. And a saw, you could have a power saw, like a circular or a jigsaw, or just a handsaw. That's what I used. Power drill and drill bits, screwdriver, wood screws, 1 inch and 1.5 inches, sanding paper or sanding block, and a tape measure. Since there isn't really much cutting needed, you could have all of the wood cut at Home Depot or the hardware store, wherever you're getting it, which, if you don't have a saw, will save you some costs and time. And then for the seat backrest cushions, or the seat and the backrest cushions, yeah. You'll need a sewing machine or needle and thread, though that will take some time if you decide to sew by hand, and scissors, plastic snaps, and an applicator to apply them, or a zipper button could work too. This is just so you'll be able to remove the cushion cover for washing. And 1.3 yards or 48 inches. I actually got 2 yards of it, but of 3 or 4 inch thick cushion foam. So I also used a high density type, which actually works really nicely. 24-inch pillow inserts for the back cushions. You could also do other size pillows or a foam cushion like the seat. 6 yards total of outdoor upholstery fabric. I used 2 different types of outdoor fabric that I bought 3 yards in each, and had actually extra of both left over, so it'll be plenty. Alright, now let's get to work. Flipping the chairs over, locate the hardware used to hold the frame and seat together. Using a power drill or screwdriver, unscrew the fasteners to remove each seat, front legs, and any cross supports, leaving only the chair's backrest and rear legs as a single piece. If you are not able to do this with removing the chair's hardware, you could alternatively use a saw to carefully cut the seat, cross supports, and front legs off of the chair. Setting the chairs aside for a moment, lay the two 48-inch length lumber pieces parallel to each other with the three 21-inch length pieces in between the two longer pieces on both ends and one in the center. Drill and countersink two pilot holes on the four corner ends and the two center ends, using between a 1 to 1.5 inch size wood screws to fasten and hold the frame together. However, before securing the right and left side pieces to the seat frame, drill and countersink 2 or 3 pilot holes. These will be for attaching the full frame to the dining chairs using wood screws 1.5 inches long.
I've been waiting all my life for something. I've been down the darkest roads and
now finish attaching the right and left sides to the ends of the frame, making sure that the countersunk sides are each facing in towards the middle of the frame.
the clouds, but I've always felt that something's missing.
Once the frame is complete, fasten the new seat frame sides to the inside of the chair backs where the seat chair was previously attached, using 1.5 inch or longer wood screws and the pilot holes you just made. I was actually able to reuse the original hardware from these particular chairs for this step instead of using wood screws, though either option will work fine.
That was until I found you right there in the crowd. You came into my life and started a fire.
Once the new seat frame is securely attached to both of the chair back frames, place the 2-foot by 4-foot plywood sheet on top of the new seat frame, making sure all the sides and corners are flush. Fasten the sheet in place around the edges and down the center with 1-inch screws. Next, measure and cut the 2 fencing boards to fit the length from each chair back and attach to the side that is to be the bench's backrests, making the old chair backrests the arm sides of the new bench.
It made me feel like I could touch the sky. Oh, there's nothing missing now that you're my desire. Now all I have to do is to make it mine. 'Cause I know, and you know what we could be, like a song.
Prep the entire bench for painting by sanding with a sanding block or sponge or paper. When finished, remember to wipe clean with a rag to remove all the dust.
Like a perfect melody. Baby, don't say you don't believe in me. 'Cause you know, and I know, we're onto something good. You know, and I know, we got something good.
Apply your color, paint, and primer to the entire bench. Depending on the original finish and color of the chairs, you may need to apply multiple coats of paint and allow each coat enough time to dry before applying the next. Now that you have finished building and painting the bench, it's time to make the seat cushion and backrest pillows. For the seat cushion, cut a piece of 3-inch thick foam to 48 inches in length and 24 inches width. The foam I used I got from Joann Fabrics, and it was sold already in a width of 24 inches. To cut the foam, most people say that you need to use an electric carving knife or at least a serrated knife. However, I've used both of those, and honestly, for straight simple cuts, I prefer just a long, non-serrated, freshly sharpened knife, which works just as well. Now set the cut piece of foam aside while you make its cover. For the seat cushion cover, you'll need to cut 2 back panels 49 by 4 inches. These will be buttoning or Velcro closures. 1 front panel, also 49 by 4 inches. 2 side panels, 25 by 4 inches, and these are for the right and left sides. And 2 49 by 25 inch panels for the top and bottom of the cushion. And then these are all of my side panels cut out. for the box cushion. So you have the upper backside flap panel, the lower backside flap panel, and then the front side panel, as well as the right and the left side panels. And you're going to begin with those two back side panels. Take your two back button closure panels and on each piece fold over 1/2 inch along one of the long edges. Press in place and then repeat another 1/2 inch fold, pressing again, and then sew down the hem. You could also do a single fold of the hem at 1 inch if you prefer. Next, attach one of the short ends of the right and left side panels to the short ends of the front panels. Then lay one back panel's hemmed edge down over the other hemmed edge so that the unhemmed edges are outwards, so that the two overlapping pieces make a single back panel and together measure 4 inches, the same as the front, right, and left side pieces. Then attach the back flap panels to the short ends of the right and left side panels. Now you should have a continuous piece made up of the front, back, right, and left side panels. Make sure you place the fabric's right or front face sides together and sew each short edge together with about 1/2 inch seam allowance. You may need to adjust your seam allowance depending on how you want the cover to fit. From here, pin the long and short edges of the continuous side piece to the long and short edges of the bottom panel. Again, making sure that the right side or front facing sides of the fabrics are together, and sew all the way around with about 1/2 inch seam allowance. And repeat the same steps for the top panel as you had done with the bottom panel by attaching the continuous long and short sides to the long and short sides of the top panel, and then sewing all the way around with about 1/2 inch seam allowance. With everything sewn together, turn the cover right side out and insert the cut piece of foam. The final step for the seat cushion cover is to add the buttons to the back flap closure panels so that the cover can easily be removed and washed. For the bench seat back, if you're using a single cushion similar to the one for the seat and not pillows, follow the steps for the seat cushion cover, adjusting the size as needed. If you are using pillows for the back like I did, then to figure out how much fabric to cut for envelope pillow covers is simple. For the width, it is the pillow width plus 1, and for the length, it is the pillow length plus 1 times 2 plus 8 inches. For example, my pillows are 24 by 24 inches, so for the width, 24 plus 1 equals 25 inches, and the length, 24 plus 1 times 2 plus 8 equals 58, and this allows for 1 inch seams and 1/2 inch double rolled hems. For square pillows, it should look like a long triangle where you will make 2 folds indicated by the red lines here. Since I had a fabric with a pattern and wanted the pattern to run a certain way, I had to actually cut 2 pieces of fabric. So instead of one long piece like this, where you would fold the fabric here, mine was cut. One piece being 25 by 25 inches and the second measured 25 by 34 inches. I added an extra inch in length since I needed to sew the bottom. Now, if using 2 pieces, place the right or the front side of the fabric together and sew along the bottom end. If you have only a single long piece, then skip this part. Next, hem both shorter ends, folding over the edge by about 1/2 inch, and again, then pin the hem in place and sew. I used a zigzag stitch for a more secure hold and a nice finished look. After hemming the ends, for a single long piece of fabric, fold down one side about 6 inches and fold the other side up a couple inches short from the side you just folded, but so that it is overlapping it at least 3 inches or more.
For 2 pieces that have been sewn at the bottom, lay the 2 sewn pieces flat with the longer on the bottom and fold over the longer piece down under the shorter piece, leaving the shorter piece on top, checking to make sure that the overall length is the pillow height and adjusting if needed. Now pin everything in place and sew down both the right and left sides. After sewing the sides, turn the pillow cover right side out, making sure to fully push out all the corners and insert the pillow. And finally, place the seat cushion and pillows on the bench that is now finished.
Well, I'm so thrilled how this turned out. I like to work on my laptop outside and really enjoy having it to sit on instead of just one of the chairs that it's made from. It's way comfy too. Have you tried this DIY project or one similar? And what other things have you repurposed old dining chairs into? Let me know in the comments along with any questions you may have, and I will respond as soon as possible. Alright, thanks for watching everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please select the thumbs up to like it, and if you would like to subscribe to my channel, then click on the subscription button below as well as the bell icon next to it if you would like to receive notifications for when I post new videos. Alright, now it's your turn and you've got this. Just some basic carpentry skills, tools, paint, fabric, all wrapped up with your creative flair, and will have you making great use out of those would have been useless chairs in no time. Okay, thank you so much again everyone. I'm so grateful for you being here with me while I shared this DIY video tutorial. And alright, I'll see you next time. Bye!